Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 6 and we are assigned to discuss Galileo Galilei. But before we start, let us introduce ourselves first.
Hello, I'm Gia Ocampita.
I am Gian El Principe.
I am Apple Karen Orno.
I'm Britada.
I'm Aliri Candid S. Romero.
I'm Jade Ann Chavez.
I'm Syra Mika Brillion.
So let's proceed to learning objectives. At the end of this module, you should be able to number one, learn more about Galileo. Second is identify their contribution to science and technology. Third is know their similarities and differences of their contribution.
Galileo di Vincenzo Bernardi Galilei was an Italian astronomer, physicist, and engineer, sometimes described as a polymath. Commonly referred to as Galileo, his name was pronounced. Galileo Galilei was born on February 15, 1564 in Pisa, Italy, and died on January 8, 1642 in Arceti, Italy. He was the first of six children to Vincenzo Galilei and Villa Galilei. The Galileis were from an ancient, respected family who originated in Florence. Galileo Galilei, viewed as the father of modern science, he wrote two new sciences, a work that received high praise from Albert Einstein. From an early age, Galileo showed an intense interest in making things. By the time that Galileo had reached his mid-teens, it was apparent to everyone, including his father, that his keen mind was destined for greater things than a life as a wool trader. Vincenzo saw it as his duty to encourage Galileo to use his God-given intellectual talents to the fullest extent. Through his study of the work of Aristotle, Vincenzo had instilled in his son the discipline of independent study, observation, and experimentation. Galileo was found guilty of hearsay for his dialogue, holding the belief that the earth revolved around the sun, which was deemed heretical by the Catholic Church, and was sent to his home near Florence, where he was to be under house arrest for the remainder of his life.
So let's proceed to Galileo's facts. First, Galileo enrolled to a medical degree at the University of Pisa but never finished, instead choosing to study philosophy and mathematics. Noong bata pa si Galileo, his father sent him to study medicine at University of Pisa. But dahil nga hindi siya interested sa medicine, hindi niya tinapos ang kursong iyon, kundi mas pinili niyang aralin yung mathematics, and later on, he became a professor and chair of mathematics at university. Galileo did not invent the telescope. The first person to apply for a patent for a telescope was a Dutch glass eye maker, Hans Lippershey. Although Galileo is often named as the inventor of the telescope, he actually just improved it but did not have the idea. Sa halip, ang Dutch eyeglass maker na si Hans Lippershey can be credited with the creation of the telescope. At least this is the earliest record of the telescope. Lippershey tried to prove his idea for the device in 1609 but with no success, as it was too easy to copy in the eye of the Dutch government. In the same year, Galileo learned about the device and his own telescope by improving Lippershey's ideas. Soon, he has telescope that could magnify 20 or 30, even 30 times. The middle finger of Galileo's right hand has been exhibited at the Museo Galileo in Florence, France, Italy. Uh, Galileo lost of three his fingers almost 1 century after he died. This fact seems a bit strange, as malaking katanungan kung bakit ang 100 taong labi ay mawawala ang three fingers. However, noong 1737, halos 100 taon pagkatapos ng kamatayan ni Galileo, ay hinukay ang kanyang katawan mula sa isang side chapel sa simbahan ng Santa Cruz sa Florence upang ilipat ito ang kanyang mga labi sa pangunahing basilika ng simbahan doon. At ginagawa kung paano tinanggal ng mga tagahanga ni Galileo ang tatlong daliri at yung kanyang ngipin. Um, Although it is not clear it is exactly took the fingers and the tooth from Galileo's historians assume that these body parts were handed down through generations of the admirer's relative at one point in the time that items were thought to be lost forever. However, noong 2009, they appeared again during an auction the private collector was able to deduce their origin and has returned at least Galileo middle finger to the authorities. It is currently on the exhibition at the Museo Galileo in Florence, France, Italy.
Another fact about Galileo is that Galileo refused to believe Kepler's theory that the moon caused the tides, instead believing it was due to the nature of the Earth's rotation. Galileo really believes that the high tides and low tides are caused of the rotation of the Earth kahit na ang karamihan ay naniniwalang ang moon ang nagkakos ng tides here on Earth. The truth is that yung action ng sun and moon ang dahilan ng pagbabago ng tides through the gravitational force, as Newton says. And when Kepler stated that the tides of the seas follow the movement of the fireballs in the skies, Galileo considered it childish and still believed on his own theory. And yung nakalagay na helping prove that even smartest people can make mistake dito is about kay Galileo na kahit gaano siya katalino, siya ay human being na pwedeng magkamali. Next is with these telescopes, Galileo was able to observe the skies in ways previously not achieved. In 1610, he made observation of four objects surrounding the Jupiter that behave unlike stars. These turned out to be Jupiter's four largest satellite moons. During 1610 nga nung naobserbahan ni Galileo na may mga objects na nakapalibot sa Jupiter na he thought it's just group of stars but later on, he found out na ito ay mga satellite moons. At dahil sa discovery niya na yun ay napatunayan na not everything that exists ay umiikot lang sa Earth. And with that, it also leads to the development of the modern astronomy. And lastly, for facts, since tradition prescribed marriage for university faculty, Galileo's lifelong union with Marina Gamba was not officially sanctioned. Galileo did not marry his children's mother, Marina Gamba, for it would not have been an honorable arrangement. Marina Gamba was much younger than Galileo and was of a lower social standing. Galileo and Marina have three children but lahat ay out of wedlock o pinanganak ng hindi pa kinakasal ang magulang. Kaya naman hindi na-mention si Galileo dun sa mga registration ng mga pangalan ng anak niya sa simbahan. Pero bakit nga ba hindi pinakasalan ni Galileo si Marina? It's because yung system ay sinasabi na si Marina ay hindi nababagay dun sa mga lupon na kinabibilangan ni Galileo. Dahil si Marina ay nabibilang sa mahirap o mabababoy. At dahil nga sa kanilang tradisyon din na ang university faculty ay kailangan manatiling hindi kasal. At pero kung inako naman ni Galileo yung kanyang mga anak ay mapapabilang silang lahat sa social class ni Galileo pero ang kapalit nun ay kailangan magbigay ni Galileo ng dowry sa family ni Marina at yung mismong gagastusin nila sa kasal ay kailangan siya pa rin ang magpo-provide. And that time ay siya'y struggling sa pagbibigay ng dowry para dun sa nakakatanda niyang kapatid kasi namatay yung tatay nila na siyang dapat nagbibigay ng dowry. Kaya hindi na lang niya inako officially yung anak niya at hindi din pinakasalan si Marina.
Galileo's map. Galileo may not have been thrilled with the Vatican's 1992 apology. The Roman Catholic forced Galileo Galilei to withdraw his theory that the earth revolves around the sun in 1633. Galileo recanted under the threat of torture, and on October 31, 1992, the Roman Catholic Church acknowledged that it had been inaccurate to condemn Galileo for promoting Copernican astronomical theory. In the 19th century, the Church finally admitted he was correct. However, the Church's statement appeared to place the majority of the blame on the clerks and theological advisors who worked on Galileo's case, rather than on Pope Urban VIII, who presided over the trial. That is why Galileo may have been disappointed with their apology. Last is Galileo buried between Michelangelo and Machiavelli is said to have had his gravestone inscribed with the word, "But the earth does move." Galileo was buried twice. When Galileo died in 1642, Ferdinand II, Grand Duke of Tuscany, requested that he be buried in the nave of Basilica of Santa Croce. Due to Galileo's heliocentric heresy, the Pope objected to the request, and Galileo was buried in the Medici Chapel of the Novices in Santa Croce. He was moved to his new resting place in Florence, Italy in 1737 after his grave was erected, and his gravestone was inscribed with "But the earth does move," and later in 1992, when the church realized their mistakes, Galileo had the last word after all.
Let's proceed to the contribution to science and technology.
Contributions to science and technology. Galileo Galilei contributions were extremely important for the development of physics, astronomy, and science in general. He is best known for his astronomical observation, which include the features of the moon, the phases of Venus, or of Jupiter's moon sunspot, as well as for the radical theories that flowed logically from those observations. Galileo invented an improved telescope that observed and described the moon of Jupiter, the ring of Saturn, and the phases of Venus, sunspot, and the rough lunar surface. Next. Galileo contributed to the Copernican theory planets revolve around the sun. The discoveries offered by his newly improved telescope, such as the observation he made of the moon, Jupiter, Venus, and even the sun, what helped him to create a text that explained how the universe worked and what was the place of the Earth in it. Galileo contributed greatly to establishing the field of physics and astronomy. He discovered the law of free fall, projectile motion, and the concept of inertia. Among his many significant astronomical discoveries are his identification of mountains on the moon of Jupiter, and the ring of Saturn.
Let's proceed to the impact of such contribution to science and technology.
Galileo was a natural philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician who made major contributions to the certain of the scientific method and the disciplines of motion, astronomy, and strength of materials. He also made groundbreaking telescopic discoveries such as the discovery of Jupiter's four biggest moons. As soon as he had understood how the spyglass or telescope operated, Galileo created his own, more creative design. Galileo became the first person to document telescope aided observation of the sky in 1609 while using this early model of telescope. So kagaya rin ng sabi nila na Galileo observed and described the moons of Jupiter, the rings of sun, the phases of Venus, and sunspots, and the rough lunar surface. At ang impact nga nito na pinaniniwalaan na everything na nag-exist ay umiikot lang sa moon. And in terms of the technology, na kahit nga hindi si Galileo Galilei ang nag-invento ng telescope, ay pinag-aralan niya ito at nakaimbento ng mas pinaganda na mas makakita ng mas malayo upang makita rin ng outer space. At ito rin ang naging batayan para makagawa ng mga makabagong telescope hanggang ngayon.
Let's proceed to the similarities of Galileo and Galilei.
Similarities. Sir Isaac Newton and Galileo Galilei were two of the most leading scientists of the 17th century. Between the two, there was a storm of scientific revolution underway. Differences. Galileo made major contribution to the fields of physics, astronomy, cosmology, mathematics, and philosophy, while Newton is the best known for his contribution to physics. Unfortunately, the two were never able to work together as Isaac Newton was born the same year Galileo died, 1642.
At dito na po nagtatapos ang discussion ng Group 6. Thank you for listening. We hope na may natutunan kayo. So ito po yung references namin. And time for questions.